Anyway, like I say, most people didn't even understand what Congress means. What is the Congress of America? What does Congress even mean? Well, to Congress means to pass through. To Congress means to to move, or to you congress into a house. You can congress into a woman. But that's about all it means. That's what Congress means. It doesn't really have anything to do with government. It just means to pass by, pass through. It's kind of like saying "for." I don't even know what "for" means really. Why do they yell "for" in what's called? It used to mean something. I think it actually means points, 4 points. You used to get 4 points for making a hole in one or something like that. So they would yell "for," you know, calling out their score basically, because that's how they used to play golf. So anyway, yeah, and it doesn't really mean mean that you're making a, well, it means you're making a shot, but it's a hole in one basically. Is 4 points, because you used to get 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, 4 point. 4 points for basically making a hole in one, or one shot. Anyway, because it's hard to see the ball unless you have binoculars, which binoculars came along later on. So, anyway, yeah. Well, because usually the people watching the game are like way back, and then and the one guy would run up to the ball and hit it and say "for," and then people would be like, "Wait a minute, wait, you danced around that hole a little bit, and that looks more like a two." What can I say? People always were into cheating. So anyway, yeah. Um, there's lots of stuff about this world that you probably didn't not know until someone like me comes along and tells you what's going on. I mean, I'm Lusifer Star, so only I would know, and I don't really care. Like I said, I knew about who invented jet engines, who invented the compressor engine. Do you know? Phileas Fogg, Catamaran Dew, Significant Chindanu. So he was a Chinese guy and an American guy and a French guy. Is that what you're saying? I mean, just looking at these names, like some of the Lockheed people, and it's Sir Rapier of Birmingham. Sir Rapist of Birmingham? What? Anyway, yeah, there was a guy that was going. He was a rapist, and so he named himself. So he would go around and he would laugh because he would tell women that he was Sir Rapier of Germany. Basically, he was a rapist of Germany. So anyway, so it's a little joke, I guess, because the girls would start talking to him, blah 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 blah, and he said his name was Sir Rapier, Rapier. Anyway, I guess, and then later on, when you grab them and shove them into a broom closet or the bathroom, and started forcing them down and raping them, um, I don't know, a little joke on his part. I mean, you told them 20 minutes ago that his name was Sir Rapier, so what did they expect was going to happen to them? I don't know. There were people that were basically, had guns on them and basically went around doing all these horrible things, and until someone put a bullet in their head, they basically did whatever they wanted. Basically, until you get caught, you can basically do whatever you want. But I mean, usually, eventually, someone tracks you down. So anyway, so yeah, there's a lot of stupid idiots running around calling themselves Sir Rapier or hit her because they hit people or whatever. Like, I mean, anyway, though, I guess, it's a stupid joke. Um, like I said, I mean, generally, like a bunch of people like Bill Gates and other people laughed at records and laughed at history. Yeah, eventually they would stop laughing, of course, but whatever. There's also the existential mites, or might nots. Like I said, it got a little more real when all this money started being made from Ultima Online. Like I said, a lot of people were buying Ultima Online just to play the online game, or a lot of people were buying these games, spending all this money on these little gift cards, whatever, where they could go and buy gear in the computer game and stuff like that. And so eventually, someone figured out that added up to about $500 million or a couple $1 billion. So they started going around and finding all these other people that were rich and started putting contracts out on their heads. So basically killing them, and then they would get the money. So basically all these online games ended up basically being death, like the curse of death, basically. And a bunch of computer programmers were just going around, they would pay people because online you could find out, oh yeah, that programmer was Jim Hampson, blah blah blah. So they would walk up to Jim Hampson with a blah blah blah, and basically, well, I guess I got myself a company now. Yeah. I mean, they did it more in the 1980s, I mean, in the 1800s and 1900s. But basically, yeah, a bunch of programmers were getting down on it. Wait for someone to come out with a game or do all this programming work, and then basically, like I said, that apparently that I mean, whatever. Yeah, and that's what basically shut down pretty much a couple of the computer games. Basically, they killed the programmers. Anyway, and the games just stopped, and then people collected money and then basically walked away. Anyway, I don't really know. Like I say, Bill Gates wasn't really a computer guy at all. Anyway, so whatever. I don't really care. But a bunch of programmers found out the hard way that basically money can be the worst thing you can ever have. Because people will find out your name, and then once they do, they come after you. And then they kill you and take over your company or your business. The money's just rolling in. The checks just kind of go to a bank account. So, all they need to do is get someone that works at the bank or something like that, and then all of a sudden you live on longer than your money outlived you. So anyway, yeah. Anyway, people call me crazy. It's like, well, but like I said, most of the people, I mean, there's a lot of things like for instance, people would get mad at me for jails, and it's like, well, would you rather have the old way? I mean, nowadays we use jails, but in the old way they used to just kill you. You commit a crime, bye bye. You won't be committing any more crimes. That's the way they used to do it. Until I came along, and I was like, no, I think we'll just lock them up because they're just confused. But because I felt like, eventually they would come around and realize that, basically society has to be maintained. Yeah, whatever, I don't really care. Like I said, it's free will, free choice. You can choose to go out and rape someone, and you can also, and someone else can choose to either kill you or lock you up. Police officers make that life and death choice every day. Yeah, all a police officer will do is get fired for shooting someone. But technically, a police officer can walk into your home, pull a gun on you, shoot you, and basically write a report saying that basically he was there looking into a home invasion, and it's his word against yours. And generally, the police officer walks away scot-free, having killed you. So, police officers do that all the time. Well, they don't do it all the time, but basically, that's the fact of the system, basically. Anyway, some people abuse the right and eventually get taken out as police officers, and sometimes the police officers don't really like the way one of the police officers is making them look, and they deal with it themselves. So, anyway, I don't really know, and I really don't care. But basically, pretty much the Star badge, and police officers and people with guns in general, and that's Lusifer Star, security forces. So, anyway, I would, the people that guarded the Titanic and guarded all my stuff, basically. Yeah, whatever, I don't really care. A bunch of free will and a bunch of other stuff, happened. And then a bunch of other people called me crazy. And, they were being killed and tortured by a bunch of other life forms, as it wasn't okay to treat me like that. So anyway, whatever. Like I said, I don't really care. Only one person actually ever really took me down. And it took them a long time to be able to do that. And they ended up getting tortured or killed for it. So whatever. Like I said, what you say and what happens in the world are often two different things. So anyway, whatever. It's all in the past now, as they say.